Well, good afternoon, North Georgia. Meteorologist Andrew Wilson here with your weekly weather update. We've got a lot to talk about today, so let's jump right in. Of course, this is Wednesday, right at 2:32 in the afternoon. We love to do these updates every Wednesday and Sunday. This Wednesday, we're talking about the chance for a lot of strong storms. Not necessarily for today, but tonight and then moving into Thursday morning, we're tracking some strong to severe storms that are going to be moving down into our region, including again throughout the day on Thursday. Right now, we're seeing a lot of those stronger storms moving through portions of South Carolina, North Carolina, and into Tennessee. You see some of these watches and warnings, a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings right now for western portions of North Carolina, some very electric storms, a lot of thunder and lightning, all dipping down to the southeast. But of course, as we take a look down here into portions of North Georgia, not as much activity. We do just have a few showers out there. However, we are going to get a chance for a few strong storms ourselves here as we move into again tonight and then into tomorrow. So let's first off look outside. Let's see what our tower cams are seeing. You see out towards Rome looking kind of gloomy, very windy out there right now out towards the Rome area. You see that out towards Truist Park and then out towards portions of Midtown downtown, actually seeing a little bit of sunlight. The downside of seeing sunlight right now is that it kind of gets everything a little bit more unstable in the atmosphere as the ground heats up. The air then is heated up by the ground, and then a lot of the warm, moist air starts to rise, and you get a little bit more instability ahead of some of these thunderstorms, which could cause some storms to become a little bit stronger. So again, right now, not a lot of activity on the radar. Looking to the north, Tennessee, Kentucky. I want you to look even into portions of southern Illinois, stretching into portions of Missouri. A lot of thunderstorm watches, tornado watches, or tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, all off to our north. Again, those are going to be moving down to the south as we head into tonight. Here's a look at our the Storm Prediction Center, their outlook for day one. That is for today, of course, and that shows a level 3 risk into far north Georgia over the Atlanta area, stretching up into portions of Cobb and Cherokee County there, and you see that kind of sliver in yellow. That is where we have a slight risk for severe weather, a level 2 out of 5, and then a level 1 out of 5 for some spots south of Atlanta. Now, that is for tonight. I know it says Wednesday, but that's really for Wednesday night. And then as we head into the day on Thursday, those storms start to dip a little bit further down to the south, but we're going to have another round of storms that's going to be possible. And some of those storms could also be strong to severe with a level 3 risk stretching from Atlanta down through Macon and even into southern portions of Georgia. You see the level 2 risk there shaded in yellow. That's where we have the slight risk for severe weather, and then a level 1 risk, that marginal risk into far north Georgia. So what are going to be the main risks with some of these storms? We have a high chance for heavy rain. Could lead to a little bit of isolated flooding in some spots. And then we also have a high risk for gusty winds. That could bring down a few trees in some of those stronger storms. We have a lower risk for large hail, and then a lower risk there for even a brief spin-up tornado. But a brief spin-up tornado is still possible in a couple of thunderstorms. So just know that you're going to want a way to stay weather aware as we head throughout tonight. Of course, one of those ways that's a great way to stay updated is with the 11 Alive app. Right there at your phone, at your fingertips, you could get alerts. Let's say a severe thunderstorm warning was issued in the middle of the night, or maybe a tornado warning. You would have a way to receive an alert right there on your phone. It would cause your phone to go off, and you'd be able to watch live updates right there at your fingertips. Because not only can you see the radar map right there at the top of the screen, you saw that little button there, and you could see where the tornado warning was. You see that little tab there at the bottom of the screen where it says Watch Live? Whenever we're live and giving updates, you can watch those updates right there with the 11 Alive app at your fingertips. Updates like the one you're watching right now. You can also catch these same updates on the 11 Alive Plus app. They're for Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV devices. You can also watch the newscasts whenever it's convenient for you by downloading the 11 Alive Plus app too. Again, all great tools so you can stay updated and weather aware whenever we have strong to severe storms threatening our region, like what we do for tonight and then into tomorrow. Let's talk about timing. Okay, so Forecast Track shows that we have a few showers out there this afternoon. Of course, this is Wednesday at 2:37. You see that we have a little bit of shower activity already starting to pop up when we looked at radar a moment ago. Getting towards 5:30 p.m., things are going to be a little bit quieter, but I want you to look at what's going on off towards our northwest. This is moving into western portions of Kentucky. All that thunderstorm activity there is going to be dipping down to the south and east. Watch the timeline. I'm going to run it through here as we're looking into portions of eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina. Those thunderstorms really dip down into the region pretty quick. Some of these are going to be a little bit more intense as they continue to move their way down to the south. Again, that front edge where you're seeing some of those dark reds especially show up, that's going to be where we have that higher potential for strong to severe storms. This is as of 12 a.m. So again, it could be about midnight when we have that first round of strong storms come through. Another good reason to have the 11 Alive app. Make sure you charge your phone before you go to bed. You want to make sure that your phone is charged in case you do lose power. That way, even if you don't end up with any severe weather at your house overnight and just heavy rainfall, you at least have your way to get up in the morning with the alarm. So make sure that you have your phone charged as these storms continue to move through in the overnight time frame. Again, this is 12 a.m. right there at midnight into Thursday. By 1:30, some of the storms approaching central Cherokee County there in Canton. Down towards Gainesville, maybe a few strong storms. Right now, it's trying to show the most intense of the storms by 2:30, staying northeast of Atlanta. I want you to know there's still a possibility that that stronger edge could still loop down into the Atlanta area, and we could have that there even as we head throughout the very early hours before many of us are awake there on on Thursday, right there around 2 to 5 a.m. Then we get to 7 o'clock. Looking up towards Dalton and Rome, there's another round of thunderstorms that could be possible that move down through the region, still impacting us by 8, 9 o'clock. So while you're on that morning commute, maybe dealing with some thunderstorms, something I always say on a day where we have strong to severe storms possible, please check the weather before you leave the house. Whether you watch Chesley McNeil tomorrow morning there on 11 Alive, or you just check your phone to make sure that you're not going to be driving into a severe thunderstorm or possibly a tornado warning, just make sure you check the weather before you leave the house so you don't put yourself in a dangerous situation. So this is by 9:30 a.m. on Thursday. The storms then continue to move down to the southeast, and they're actually going to kind of get a little bit more intensity to them as they move southeast with this second round of storms that we're talking about here on Thursday. By 11:30 a.m., moving down to Edenton, Thomaston, Peachtree City. I think they're going to be a little bit stronger by that point as they move southeast, and then we're done with it. By 5 p.m. on Thursday, it's all out of here, and we are going to get some drier conditions moving in. But we will have another round of storms that's going to be possible there as we head into Thursday night and Friday by 12:30 a.m. Looking down towards the Grange, Carrollton, Peachtree City, some strong to severe storms could be passing through. This cluster of storms could end up being a little bit further north. And again, severe weather could be possible with it, with damaging wind and possibly even a brief spin-up tornado. I think that the main threat with that cluster of storms is going to be down to our south, but still no, some strong storms could be possible with that Thursday night into early Friday morning. By 2 a.m., storms still moving through, finally moving out by the time you're waking up there on Friday. And Friday should shape up to be a little bit of a quieter day there. You see much drier conditions expected there for our Friday after we have the thunderstorms in the morning time frame. So 30% chance for rain on Friday. That is going to be mainly in the earlier time frame. You see the 60% chance for rain on Thursday. Again, we're going to have those thunderstorms mainly in the morning into the early afternoon. How much rain do we get over the next 7 days? Well, really anywhere from an inch to maybe even up to 3 inches of rainfall possible. Of course, that's just going to continue to help push us away from any drought situations that we've been dealing with. We're doing not so good on rainfall for the month, but you're going to see here in a moment we're doing fine for the year. Whereas there's no hurt on rain right now for North Georgia. We are still more than 5 inches ahead on rainfall, and of course the rain that we're going to get here over these next couple of days, while we would like to have it without any chance for severe weather, it's still going to benefit us by keeping us ahead and away from drought conditions. So we're also going to get a cool down. That's the benefit from these thunderstorms. We're going to have a nice little cool down behind them. Today, the highs are expected to be in the mid to upper 80s, lower 80s there for Thursday, back into the 70s, where we should be for highs, to even below average as we head throughout the weekend and then into early next week. Okay, let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. You see here that we're going to have 88 for the high here for today, moving into Thursday and Friday, cooling off a little bit more. Mother's Day is going to be dry. You see it's also going to be dry on Saturday. So if you, for some reason, need to celebrate Mother's Day maybe a day early, you're going to be fine there. Also, if you need to spend it a day late, maybe you got to go visit mom on Monday, it is going to be drier there as well. Rain chances aren't going to return again until Tuesday, with temperatures slowly ticking back up as we head through next week. By the way, speaking of today, 88, if we hit it, that would end up being the hottest day of the year so far. You see that May has already been pretty hot. Of course, it's supposed to be. We're going to see these numbers change a bunch as we head through the next few months. But right now, the hottest days of the year so far have been May 3rd and May 5th, where we hit 87 degrees. Now let's look beyond that 7-day forecast. We talked about a little bit of a cool down, some drier portions there for the weekend and into early next week. But looking at the 8 to 14 day outlook for the middle of May and moving into the really middle to end of May, I guess you could probably say there, looks like we are going to have some above average rainfall back in the forecast, and above average temperatures. Above average for this time of year would be mid 80s. So it is looking like we are going to stay a little bit warmer there. Looking at the hurricane forecast here as we head throughout the next few months, of course, we are going to move into hurricane season. We're just really about a half a month away now, a little more than half a month away from the start of hurricane season. It'll go all the way till November 30th. And right now the forecast is calling for a very active season, something to keep a close eye on. Alberto will be the first named storm. Beryl would be the second, and then we'd go all the way through the list. Of course, there's only 21 names on that list, and the forecast is calling for 23 by Colorado State named storms. So, of course, there is a list of supplemental names that we'll dip into if we do make it all the way through that initial list, but hopefully we don't. Still, nothing happening out there right now in the tropics. That will change over the next few months more than likely, and we'll keep you updated on all of that right here at 11 Alive. Let's move back to Georgia for right now. Over the next 3 days, are going to be staying warm. A lot of thunderstorm activity, not just for us here in North Georgia. Remember, much of Georgia is going to be under severe weather risk here the next couple of days. So for Thursday, thunderstorms possible again for much of the state as we head throughout the day on Friday. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week ahead of them. Of course, we'll always keep everybody updated right here at 11 Alive. I'll bring back up the 7-day forecast. Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb is in this evening. He's going to be doing another update around 9 o'clock to keep everybody updated on the storms, and we'll be keeping people fully staffed overnight here with the 11 Alive weather team, so everyone stays informed with Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb again in through tonight, and Meteorologist Chester McNeil will be in tomorrow morning. We'll keep you updated on everything right here at 11 Alive.